Hello everyone, it's Ina, still from Russia, from Krasnodar. It's been a long month and you're probably kind of curious why haven't I been filming for some time. And actually there were some reasons for that and I'm going to explain them in this video. But today the video is about the spendings because it's been already a month since I arrived to Russia and I did my own estimations before coming here so I could bring some money with me. I transferred some money in advance and okay, we're going to see if my estimations were correct or not. Actually, I think as usual, my estimations were way too low, but also I did not there were a lot of things that happened that they were not supposed to happen, like in a good life scenario. So let's start with the whole amount. So my original plan was to spend maybe every month about 20 to 25,000 rubles, and that's supposed to it's supposed to be like maybe $250 to $180 a month, let's say below $300 a month. And that's supposed to include all of the food for myself, sometimes with a little bit of delicious snacks, not so many, but still, like also buying some food, not all food, but some food to my parents sometimes. Let's say if I buy ice cream, I can't buy only one ice cream, I have to buy 3 ice creams because like we're the family. Or like if I buy chocolate, we're supposed to share it, so some kind of this delicious stuff we're supposed to share. And also like I planned a little bit of like meat budget and stuff, so it was like about 300 rubles, $300 that I need a month, including some basic transportation because I don't really have to drive a lot. And I did not include any of let's say special fees into that calculation, like I will need to exchange my driving license, I will need to do this and that. No, it was just basically basic living with some occasional treatments, like fun stuff and phone and internet and stuff. So all together, this month from 28th of I arrived 27th of April, I landed to Russia, to Sochi, and up to 28th of May, including that day, I spent 46,160 rubles. With the current exchange rate, with $1 American dollar is 89 rubles and 1 Swedish krona being 8.6 rubles, it's about $517 or 5,000, and let's round up 400 kronas, Swedish kronas. So it is much more than I expected, and yeah, I'm a little bit sad about it. Also, on top of that, I got some monetary gift when I arrived, so it was kind of good. It covered up a bit, but still, these are only expenses, about 46,000 rubles and 160 rubles. And the sad story is, okay, I will start actually not from the sad one. So basically from the very first day and hour since I landed, I was actually lucky. I was able to use my Swedish phone operator provider. We use Mitre, basically my 3, whatever. And they gave me free internet for the same rate as I used to have in Sweden for, I don't remember, 30 or 60 days after you land to Russia. And I have an unlimited plan in Sweden. So basically my husband has an unlimited plan and I have 60 gigabytes. So just for simple like Telegram and maps, it's more than enough, and I didn't have to buy any SIM card or anything. I had a Russian SIM card, but it was with a very old plan, and if I was supposed to use any internet there, I was supposed to pay for every single megabyte I use, and you can imagine how expensive it is because that plan is from literally 10 years ago, from the year 2015 or 2014, from those times. So yep, that was my money saver. So first of all, I spent some money on a little train. It was like how called a fast train from the airport to the train station in Sochi. Then I waited for some time and I took another train to go like to my next location where my relatives live and where my mom picked me up. We had some dinner there, and basically I didn't have to pay for anything except for those trains. And then we came to Krasnodar, we came by our car, so my mom anyway, she had to go, so I do not count it as the gas and fuel because my mom, she sells some souvenirs at the seaside, and they kind of made their trip to bring their first load of goods that they're going to sell, so it wasn't anything extra. So we arrived, and the whole month was kind of slow for me. I almost didn't go anywhere. Yeah, basically I spent most of my time at home. I didn't go out, like no nightclubs, no bars, restaurants. I've been only to two okay, I've been to some cafes and stuff like that only 3 times, and in May it was 2 times. The third time was just on Saturday, but it was already June, so nope. And actually, at one of those times, one of my friends, male friends, he paid for me and my other friend. It's kind of still a little bit of, I would not say outdated, but it's some men, they still feel like, okay, I earn enough, and if I don't see my female friends way too often, it's for us it's like once in 5 years, in my case in 10 years, and we didn't order a lot, it was just like one dish and one dish each, so he wanted to pay, and who are we to say no? Okay, he insisted, we didn't say no, that's it. So basically I did not have any spendings. I didn't buy any alcohol. Okay, I did buy like a little bit one time when I went out with my cousin, so it wasn't like that I spent money on something crazy. So let's say go by category. So the first of all, it is the transportation. I spent 1,875 rubles, and just for the simplicity, if we divide it by 10, because it's basically we will know how much is it in kronas. So it will be 200 kronas or $20. A little bit more, a little bit less, whatever. It's what I spent on transportation, and in this amount there were only buses and trolley buses, and one time there was a taxi that I took to get to the driving to exchange my driving, how you call it, driving license, yeah. So that was it. So it was very cheap, but again, I didn't go anywhere. Basically, compared to other people who go every day to work and back, and maybe they go to some supermarket on the way, and after they maybe have to change 1 or 2 means of transportation per route. So compared to them, I try to burn my calories and walk, so it's not how much an average Russian or an average foreigner is going to spend. It's much less. So the next one that I want to talk is maybe it will be the connection, like the phone and stuff like that. So I spent on that 2,690 rubles, or we can call it like 270 kronas or $27. And that includes, number one, purchasing a new SIM card of the new phone operator because they had like a better plan. Number two, it was replacement of the protection screen on my phone because mine was broken. Number three, there was some kind of cleaning done. And number four, there was a bit of extra fees for moving your cell phone number from the old phone operator to the new one. So altogether, like, it was basically this much, 270 kronas or $27. Next one, we can talk about some clothes. I almost didn't buy anything. Just prior going to the interview, I bought a couple of shirts and a pair of shoes, like with the closed toes and they were secondhand because it was only for one day for the interview, and I actually didn't wear them at all. I ended up wearing my own clothes, but I was like, okay, anyway, it's going to, if I'm going to search for a job, I might need it. So I decided to take it, and it was only 2,000 rubles or 200 kronas or $20. And it doesn't matter if I'm not going to wear it, but let's say some of you might need to buy some socks or underwear or one or two t-shirts. It will be this exactly the same. So next thing, groceries. Because I live with parents and I stay with parents, so I actually didn't have to buy anything, and yeah, I was lucky for the first month. So my grocery spendings are only 2,250 rubles, or it's basically 225 kronas or $22.50. So it's like nothing, but again, I didn't buy anything. So it will be like on the second day in Russia, I bought a package of kefir. It's kind of sour milk, and I say package because it was literally in a packet. It wasn't even in a Tetra Pak box. Another day I bought some sour cream. Another day, you saw a video how I went to a supermarket and I spent there 1,700 rubles, and half of that stuff that I bought, it was actually cat food. So it wasn't even food for people, for humans. Next one, it was just like just some stuff that was 2,500 rubles or 250 kronas or $25, and that was basically a gift to my nephews, because one of my nephews, he got a gift like 2 books from Sweden, and manga books that they do not actually sell in Russia, especially like those latest releases. So it was kind of his main gift, and just a little bit extra was just maybe to buy another book or just whatever. He is 17, he needs it. And also there was like a little bit of money to his younger brother. He's only 7 years old, so he doesn't need much money, but he is saving up for the VR glasses. And even though like the laptop they have is not strong enough to support those glasses, it does not stop him from dreaming and saving up. So I really admire him. So next one, it was basically a little bit of, I call it like maybe snack section, because it was like a little bit of a cafe, a little bit of ice cream that I bought. So it's not like really food, but it's not like really going out. And basically one time I bought ice creams, like 5 or 6 ice creams when I was with my cousin, and another time I took like a small half portion of bowl of ramen and 1 beer. And another time I ate like also a little dessert and drank some tea with my friend. So it's not even proper meals or anything, but altogether it was 1,140 rubles, and it is 115 kronas, or basically 11, okay, let's call it round up, it will be $12. So that is it. But again, I don't buy a lot of unhealthy stuff, and my mom, she cooks kind of keto now, so I'm trying to lose weight, and my mind is in a state like I don't want to eat in the weird hours. I don't want to overeat. Yeah, of course I do sometimes, but in general I try to make it low and eat like twice a day, and mostly salads and protein like meat, and the rest almost nothing. Next one, it was different equipment or different facilities that I need to kind of make my working station or gaming station. So first of all, I brought my microphone that I earned money for through my online classes, but I didn't bring the stand for it because it was very heavy. It's like almost 1 kilogram, and I found here a stand exactly that will fit my microphone, and it was 2,000 rubles. So kind of expensive, but I really wanted to have it because the microphone is good, and it was very difficult to find a normal mic stand for the good price or cheap price, and that would fit this one because it's quite heavy and it's quite wide here if you want to screw it in. So I was like, okay, I tried to find better solutions, I couldn't. I bought this one, 2000 rubles, 200 kronas, $20. Also had to buy a cooling pad for my laptop. I do not regret that at all. Also, I bought it secondhand for 500 rubles or 50 kronas or $5. Okay, a little bit more than 5, but still, let's call it 5. And I also had to buy a couple of extension cords. Firstly, I bought one, and why did I buy? I'm going to show you this one. So I bought this one. I had the same, I would say maybe the same one in Vietnam, and also we brought it to Sweden. Why did I pick this one? Because first of all, USB places, you can charge your phones, whatever, smartwatches, and this is the most important, plugs, because I've been living in Asia a lot, and you see what kind of plugs do they have, like in China and in Vietnam. They're also quite popular, and with this extension cord you can plug anything, so this is really good. But unfortunately there are like only 3 plugs. I thought like, okay, I don't need more because I'm not going to do anything. I'm not doing anything, and it's enough for me. And I got a new job, not a new, but I got a job, and it's a remote job, so they sent me a monitor, they sent me a laptop. So basically it's not enough to keep charging and keep alive all of the devices that I have, like 2 monitors, my computer, working computer, and also, what else do we need? There are some other extension cords for TV that are going over there. So yeah, I had to buy a new one that is a little bit bigger and more expensive, and that's it. So basically all of this equipment stuff is 5,790 rubles, or we can round up 600 kronas or $60. And the rest we have beauty stuff. So I did nails, manis, pedis, and that wasn't expensive. It was like only 1,500 rubles for the hands, and the same for the toes. So basically 150 kronas or $15 for manis or pedis. And also I cut my hair. That was 700 rubles, basically 70 kronas or $7. Super cheap. Okay, I didn't ask for anything fancy in regards of hairstyle, just to trim the ends, but the woman, she still tried to do some kind of layering or whatever. But with my hair being kind of wavy, whatever you try to even up, every day it's going to look very different, so it's kind of useless. And the final one, oh no, I also have one more. Next one is different service. By service, I mean, number one, it was like translation of my driving license, not doing like notary translation. It was also paying the fee for what? For my driving license. Yeah, that is basically all the service that I have. I paid about 3,040 rubles, maybe a little bit more, maybe I forgot something, but I think it's correct amount. So it's 300 kronas or it's $30. And you may say, okay, it's not like an average spending for like an average Russian person or for foreigner coming. Yeah, maybe, but trust me, when you're a Russian citizen, you would always have something to come up with, like spending money on. It could be different school fees, it could be repairing something, it could be this and that. So it's going to be there. When you're a foreigner, you would always have to do something or pay for something extra. Even like when if you're going to open up a bank account, you will need to do a notary translation of your passport, and basically this is, boom, your service fee. Next one, this is the saddest one. It is the medicine. Whatever I told you, whatever we did calculations, it's only half of the spendings, and another half is medicine and treatments and doctors and everything. I'm going to explain why did I spend almost half. It's not almost, it's literally half of the budget went into this category. Oh, I hope I'm not going to cry, but still. So first of all, I haven't been to proper doctor, like gynecologist, for a very long time, and I had some concerns, and I really needed to kind of make my mind clear very fast, because you know, when you're a woman, there are certain days when you're supposed to do stuff. So I arrived, the very next day, it was like the second day I arrived to Russia, I went to a doctor. It was Saturday, and it was also a pre-holiday day, so it's many places supposed to be closed, but still I went and I did there 2 ultrasounds. One was like the gynecologist one, and another one was I don't remember how you call it, but basically the glands that are in your neck, and they regulate your hormone system and basically what hormones you produce and stuff like that. In Russian we call it поджелудочная железа. So it is here, and they check like the nodes, they did ultrasound. It was cheap. It was like for both checkups, basically reproductive system and this, it was like 3,000 something rubles. It's a little bit more than 300 kronas, let's say 350 kronas or $35. It's extremely cheap. So then I went to pharmacy and I bought some P-cups for the tests for my parents. They asked me. Another day I went to buy that Orlistat, the medicine that kind of helps you to get rid of the fat from the food you're eating. That was quite expensive. It was like, I think, 1,500 rubles or about that, so 150 kronas, $15. And basically that is it. Where did the rest of the money go to? Here is the sad story. We had a cat, and the cat had 2, how call it, terminal diseases, or basically diseases that you cannot treat. And I did not know that. I just knew, like, when I came, that okay, this is our cat and he's a little bit sick and stuff like that. And kind of it became so suddenly, so he got super sick, and we started doing some tests and the x-rays and UVs and blood tests, and basically in one day we just gave to the doctors 10,000 rubles for all of the tests and checks. It's like 1,000 kronas or $100. And the very same day we had to bring him to, how to say it properly, it's not like intensive care, but it's kind of when they give to the animal IV drippings, and they monitor them and they do some treatments, different shots, different medicine and stuff like that. So it was, for one day it was 4,000 rubles or 400 kronas, $40. And the clinic where we went to was not really honest. They didn't do what they promised to do, even though it's supposed to be like this specialized clinic. And again, our cat was extremely sick and he needed like a very unique specialist. It's not like regular vet who can do stuff. Basically we needed a nephrologist. It's the doctor who checks the kidneys. That was one of the main concerns. And also our cat had to, the teeth had to be removed because he had like a cat version of HIV and stuff like that. So it was a lot of conditions. So we went to that clinic and we spent like almost, I think 1,000 rubles was only the taxi to get there, like another day to pick the cat. So it's like, again, 100 kronas or $10. And the same day I went to another clinic and we had to do another test, and there was like another IV drippings, there were another stuff, another. And after we were told that we must have a consultation with a nephrologist, and the doctor that we went to was really, really bad. It was the worst vet ever. So I found a doctor online, a vet online, so it was extra fee. So to get a vet online is 2,500 rubles per consultation. Consultation is like half an hour, and we already had like all of the tests and blood tests, urine tests. We had the ultrasound, so it was kind of okay to do it online. So it's again 250 kronas or $25. And on top of that, there was some medicine that we had to buy. And then at the end, we had to put him down. And that is extra cost. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm a little bit sad, but it is what it is. So if you're just an average person and you don't have pets, you don't come with pets, and you're not planning on doing some UV, it's kind of not that expensive. Yeah, I didn't spend too much money, but if we just look at everything that happened, everything I spent money on except the medical bills, because none of that was kind of necessary, I still spent about 26,000 rubles, or it is how much? 2,600 kronas, or it's 200, how much? No, 2,600 kronas or $260. And here is a lot of stuff that basically I didn't spend money on food, and I didn't spend money on going out, and I didn't spend much money on doing anything, even taking the public transportation. So I think it is quite expensive, because when you're Russian living in Russia, you would always have to do something. One day you have to fix your tooth, another day there was someone's birthday and you have to buy a gift for the person, and also maybe you want to buy some new clothes to go to a party and stuff like that. And overall, I think with all of those little extras, you might come to the same amount that I spent, especially if you're a woman, because if you're a man, obviously you're not going to do your nails, you're not going to maybe cut your hair. It always will be just cheaper for a man. It's not necessarily true, because sometimes man's haircut could be more expensive. And also it does not include any electricity bills or water bills, even though my parents say it's supposed to be about 5,000 rubles or 500 kronas or $50 a month. But still, altogether, I think that I spent way too much money on nothing. Okay, I think from really unnecessary things, it could be this microphone stand. Okay, I agree with that. Maybe I could have been a little bit more practical with buying extension cords, but like, for example, this one was maybe 600 rubles or $6. Not that much anyway, but when you count in Russian salary, in Russian money, it is kind of at the end becomes expensive. So I had to buy a new one for like how much? 800 rubles, a little bit more expensive than this. And still, like, when you're a woman, I don't want to like go walk without nails, because when I look at the nails, they make my life brighter and lighter, and I look at gold okay, you might not like gold, but I like it. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little thing. I look at it, my spirit lifts. So I like it. And yeah. So next month, June, would be much more interesting because my mom won't be around and it will be only me and my dad. And we would obviously will have to buy more food and we'll have to cook by ourselves, even though mom, she kind of pre-made a lot of stuff. Like she bought a lot of meat, she already kind of roasted it and she put it in the freezer, so we kind of have some stuff. But still it will be more interesting because also because of work I would not be able to kind of go out a lot again, just because I'll have to stay at home at work, and the nearest supermarket is in the walking distance. So again, I don't need to go and do anything. So what do you guys think? Did I spend too much? Did I spend too little? Is it a lot? Is it not? I know what you might say, like, wow, life in Russia is so cheap. I pay like this much in Sweden, I pay this much in the US for this and that. And I know it because I've been and in the US and in Sweden and in China and in Vietnam and in many other countries. So I know that things are more expensive there, but also salaries are kind of lower here. And I think salaries would be a different topic to talk about. I'm already collecting some information to make it more objective, not to show only my thoughts, but kind of in general, try to summarize it. So, yep. Anyway, I hope this video was useful. Write down in the comments, what do you think? What are your estimations, or like when you go to Russia, how do you think, how much would you spend? Or maybe you already came to Russia and you can share your own experience, like how much you estimated, how much you spent. Because for me it's always, I estimate this and after I kind of double it to be sure, and at the end it turns out being this much, so much more. Okay, thank you everyone, and don't forget to subscribe to my Boosty channel. That's kind of a little something like Patreon but Russian version. And check my books on Amazon. See you next episode and love you. Bye bye.